I'm doing a marble tournament with 15 marbles, and I have to build 3 tracks for 3 rounds within a set time. The marbles race down each track and earn points depending on how they finish. They're added after each round, and the one with the most points wins. For the first round, I can use all these track parts, but I only have 60 seconds to build the track. And the timer begins now. I remember right when the timer started counting down, I realized that I had to scramble to get a marble track done in time because 1 minute is not a long time when it comes to marble track building. And it was at this part where I was rushing to get it done because I realized I might not finish it on time. 5, 3, 2, 1. Oh crap. And here's the track. I didn't complete the last pillar on time. Let's hope the start doesn't collapse. And the first round of this tournament is underway, and surprisingly, the start gate is still able to hold all those marbles. That poor pillar sure feels lonely now that he can't contribute. Twilight Twister getting the lead. Ooh, Blood Red, Sky Blue, Tallgrass, Prairies battling out in that green snake and into that last funnel before we get the first result. Looks like Tallgrass Prairies battling out with Glower Green for first, and Tallgrass Prairies gets the top 15 points, followed by Tarantula and Sky Blue. Deep Blue struggling there, just making it down the last funnel, and unfortunately, it looks like he might be getting last, battling with Golden Viper and Coral Crusher. Coral Crusher takes second last, and Deep Blue finishes round 1 with 1 point. For round 2, we've upped the timer to 4 minutes, but this time, I must use 2 track brands besides Marble Genius. And the timer starts now! This is where I realized the challenge would be up significantly, because while I had more time, I had to find a way to bring 2 track brands into 1, which takes longer than just using Marble Genius. I remember saying here, time tends to fly a lot faster when you're concentrated building the track. Now before this timer ends, comment down below, do you think I'm gonna get that start base support up on time or not? 4, 3, 2, 0. Okay. And unfortunately, I could not do it again. Since this is a different start, let's see how it handles the marbles weight. And we are off. And the first time I did this, I thought the marbles were going to collapse, but surprisingly, the start track handled the weight pretty well. Back to the race. Serpent, Pearl, Golden Viper all have the top 3, and this is good for Golden Viper as he did not do too well in the first round. And it looks like he's going to be getting first place as they exit the Mr. Marble track and into the Marble Genius. In that pinwheel funnel, Golden Viper is still able to keep the lead down that maze and into that last funnel before that ramp into the finish line. But the marbles are packing up, and it looks like, no, Coral Crusher has the lead. Golden Viper, no, he blows it. And Snowball takes the lead with 15 points. As Golden Viper is now a DNF, he will now finish with 0 points for this round. A massive upset for not only him, but for his fans. And things aren't looking good for Deep Blue either, and it looks like he's going to be in last. He's going to get 2 points, but that's because of Golden Viper. I expect a feud now between the Viper and Snowball fans after that dirty hit in the catcher. Now I have 10 minutes to build the final track, but here's the added challenge. I must now use 3 marble track brands instead of 2. And the timer begins now. To make the challenge harder than it already is, I use Hubalino as one of the brands I have to use. It takes a lot longer to build a Hubalino track than a Marble Genius one. Let's see if I can get a track done on time. This is where things began to get more intense as I realized there's just over 7 minutes left and I hadn't focused on the other 2 track brands I have to use. Now I had a solid idea on how to use 3 track brands on this set. Now the challenge was getting it done with 3 minutes left on the timer. I had to get pretty creative here because to connect both Marble Genius and Skyrail together, you had to use tape to connect the 2. Now with 1 minute left, I just had to assemble the last pillars and not repeat the same mistake I made in the last 2 rounds for the start. At this point, I realized there was no way I was going to get another pillar done on time for the start, so I had to just hope for the best and that it wouldn't collapse under the marble's weight. The stakes are even higher now because if that start collapses, the marbles are in for a great fall. And the last round is rolling, and I'm so thankful that the marbles were able to avoid a great fall that I expected after the rushed building from the builder. Had this be built under normal times, I'd be fined by the inspectors. As you can see, this track probably has the most hazards with not only that loop, but also the 180 just before that funnel. Coral Crusher taking the lead into that sky rail and into the first of 2 Hubalino funnels. And they're all gathering there. It looks like Sea Striker now. He's been out of the spotlight, but it looks like he's getting the lead. But Pearl just takes it, and Sea Striker's going to be taking second. I do expect the final results to change after this change up in the results. Rocky Mountain coming down 7th, but Deep Blue still seems to be struggling, and it looked like he was going to be getting in, but 12th is not going to cut it. And Tallgrass Prairies, the once leader, has also been slacking, coming in at 13th, and I do expect his position to fall from 7th. Snowball coming down second last, and Blood Red finishing the tournament in last. And congratulations to Pearl for finishing first with 35, Tarantula second with 34, and Sky Blue third with 32. These marbles have also competed in the pinball point tournament we did a while back. How did they do in that race? You can find out on your right, and I'll see you there. Keep on rolling.